Good morning, everyone. I'm Di. Thanks for joining me. Please excuse my raspy voice. I do have a sore throat. It's only Saturday morning. I've just got up, had a shower, washed my hair, so just ignore my wet hair. But I just wanted to get on with some things today. So I noticed that I've got some potatoes that I bought on special a few weeks back. I got 5 kilos for $2.99, which is quite cheap here in Australia. So I haven't used them all, so I'm going to get busy and I'm going to be making some things with potatoes, so I want to do that. So join me as I make the first thing, which will be potato cakes. Now this is, look at the origins of it. Potatoes, Irish, yeah, a lot of the recipes say Irish potato cakes. So I know it because my dad used to make it, and yes, we do have origins that go back to Ireland. My dad was basically one of the very few things that he cooked. My mum did all the cooking, but my dad would cook potato cakes, and they were lovely. So I'm going to make potato cakes and come along and see how. So generally this is a recipe where we use up any leftover mashed potato. Or the other thing is that if I'm making mashed potato, I'll go, yeah, I'll make a bit of extra because then I can use it. So it doesn't necessarily just be that I've had it left over, I've cooked extra on purpose. So we'll start by peeling the potatoes and cooking them, and then we'll come back when we've done that. Now I've got all the potatoes peeled and cut up. The main thing you need to remember is that when you're cooking potatoes, cut them to the same size so that they all cook at the same time. I've covered them with cold water, and now I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to that and bring them to the boil, and then turn it down to simmer until they're soft. Okay, our potatoes are cooked and I've drained them, and now I'm just going to mash them just as I would if I was serving mashed potato. So I'm just going to put some butter in and some milk. And then we're just going to mash them. There's no measurement for how much butter or milk you put in. If you want them very buttery, put a lot in. And with the milk, you just want a creamy, smooth texture. So if they feel a little dry, you just add a little bit more milk, which I will be doing right now. Just add a bit at a time, because if you add too much, they'll be watery, and we don't want them really watery. And there we have it. Oh, I can still see a few lumps in there. So we just mash them until we've got no more lumps. There's a little bit of peel. And there you have it. So I'm just going to wait for them to cool down, and then we'll come back and do our next step. Now in our bowl here, I've got 3 cups of mashed potato. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt, $50 grams of butter, 1 cup of flour. Now the flour I'm using is gluten-free flour, but you can use ordinary flour if you like. and we've got some garlic chives that I've added to that as well. You don't have to add the chives. You can add parsley if you like. You can use other herbs. Now we're just going to mix all that through and make a dough from it. There we go, it's all coming together as a dough now. Now I'll just go and clean my hands. Flour on our hands. And we want to grab a handful of our dough, form it into a ball, and then flatten it out. Now that's probably about 1 centimetre thick, maybe 1.5 centimetres. So we'll just work with them until we've got all of them done. When you see that it starts sticking to your hands again, just add a little bit more flour. And the last one. And there we go. I've just come over to the stove. In this fry pan here, I've got some butter and I'm just adding some olive oil to it. That'll help prevent the butter from burning. And we're just going to cook our potato cakes until they're lightly brown. Now our butter has melted, but we do want it to be nice and hot, so I'm just waiting until it heats up a little more before I add the potato cakes to start cooking. Right. We'll cook 3 at a time. And we're just cooking them until they're brown, and then we'll turn them over. Okay, we'll just check them now to see if they're brown enough. Yep, they're beautiful. So I've just put a plate here with some paper towel on it to absorb any excess fat that's from the cooking. So when that's the other side's cooked, we'll drain them and then we'll put the next batch on. So we'll just check to see that they're cooked. Yep, and they're beautiful and golden on the other side too. So we'll just remove them. There we go, beautiful. And now we'll put the next lot on. And we'll cook those the same. We'll just turn these ones, or we'll check them. Oh yeah, they're looking good. We'll just cook the other side. Okay, we'll just check those ones now. And they are done to perfection. So again, we're just draining those on some paper. And there you have it. Lovely potato cakes, ready to serve as a side dish. They're nice with a little bit of sour cream, but just as they are, they're perfect.